really don't know because, I've seen her since I've grown up, and she used to be the next door neighbor. So, and that's how I saw her, and I used to see her every day. So I don't know what pranks she's talking about. But
I'm talking about that throwing water to the Mali and.
yeah, but that happens when you grow up. When you're a young boy, you play football, and
So let me turn the tables. You were attracted to her as well. Now you tell me your side of the story.
Oh God, it's too long. It's too long. Actually,
He won't mention it because then his female fan following will be less. So
Wow.
he would, I guess, keep it a secret. So
I'll still mention it.
Still with.
So
thank you. I feel very honored.
Next door neighbor. So I used to see her every day go to school, and at that age, how old I was? 14, 15, 16. Every girl looks pretty at that age. So am I right or not? Rajdeep, no? After Rajdeep's latest book launch, Rajdeep will disagree with me on a whole lot of things at the moment. But that's the way it is. I saw her grow up, and you really don't know when it happens, and then one fine day she said that we must get married. We got married, and then it went
Was
on.
it that simple? I mean, I don't think this audience knows you eloped, right?
No, we didn't. We were pretty much next to each other, and
We'll leave that because Sana is growing up and she's 16. So we'll leave that chapter.
Okay, we'll leave that.
and she'll watch it tonight. So
Okay.
you got to be careful. When I got married in 96 April, and we had
6 August.
and we.
Or
and-
some penalty points deducted.
No, and I was in Jodhpur. And I had to stay there for 2 days because we were in transit, and so I had to make you laugh. So we were in transit, and
He's fumbling.
And I had called her up. I had called her up and said, if you're not doing anything, just come to Jodhpur because I'm alone, and I have to meet the team in 2 days' time. Those days flights were not that frequent, and they were not allowed.
We've debated this Sourav pose at Lodge, at NatWest, a million times. Perhaps, in fact, my story. If you go to Lodge, if you go to the Lodge Museum, 55% of visitors are from India. And you can go and ask the director that what is the question that they ask. And they come to the Lodge Museum, and the first question they ask is, where did Sourav Ganguly open his shirt? Okay, that's a tourist spot at Lodge. What is your take on that? I don't think any of the audience has ever heard you talk about Sourav opening his shirt at Lodge.
I think that's wonderful because you always break the rule, and it's such a proper place. Like even Sourav said, I shouldn't have done that. It just came out. But I think it was a fantastic gesture. Like
Wow.
I enjoyed it. Like
Wow.
all the Bengalis did. Like
You've always said, no, look, you've got the biggest endorsement without your six packs.
Yeah, but I would never do it again. And every time I see it,
those situations doesn't come every time. Like it just comes once or twice. So there's no question of doing it again.
I played a lot more years after that, and the games used to come on Star Sports, and every time they would show that. So I actually called the producer one day up and said, listen, I've got almost 20,000 international runs, and I've hit some cover drives, I've hit some sixes. Can you just take it off air and put my cricket? He says, no, that's what we want on television. But as I said, I would never do it again. And it was a lot because of happiness. It was a lot because of we got smashed in 3 finals before that. So it was a lot more out of satisfaction and happiness rather than anything else. But don't forget the name and the honors board at Lords, which is more important to me than the shirt when I got my first Test 100.